What's up, World Wide Web? eDaddy, your angry toy guy. And you see the office area is kind of expanded a little bit as far as how many toys and everything we got hanging up. So we're going to start mixing it up a little bit more than just Motu. You see we got some different like horror icons, some Transformers, some wrestling figures. Still more wrestling or more Motu guys. Here for a new thing we're going to do on here, and it's something that I know that I rather enjoy. There's several people who do enjoy it, and we're going to try and bring on a special guest for this one from time to time. So with that being said, welcome to eDaddy's Customs Corner. Alright, so we all know in the Motu universe there's plenty of characters from different parts of the world that's done Motu comics and all that. And one of the more interesting figures that we did get was the Anti-Eternia He-Man. Now, when Mattel started re-releasing the classics, they decided, you know, we're going to give everybody the Anti-Eternia He-Man. They seem to be a big hit with customizers, stuff like that, so they made it a point to do something like that. They even went through and gave it some backstory. Now, with the Anti-Eternia He-Man came a plethora of options of things that could be done as far as customizing goes and doing different custom things. Now, in the character guide, they, of course, talk about Anti-Eternia He-Man, which, you know, let's face it, Mattel put that out classics-wise. But there was another one in there, and in fact, there were several. There was also a Anti-Eternia Orko and an Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms. Now, you know, Orko, it wouldn't be much of a challenge, really. But what would be a challenge? And for me, it was making the Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms. So, I went through and I managed to get, as weird as it sounds, one of the more popular ones that I've managed to always get a hold of seems to be the Anti-Eternia He-Man. So, using that body, you know, the arms, butt, legs, and loincloth, you know, I made it pretty easy, but it was a matter of going through and getting the rest of them done. So I went through and got some extra parts through various other customizers and stuff like that. And it really kind of, it came out really awesome looking in a way. I went through and I got a mustached Man-at-Arms head and recasted it so that way I could go through and make a new one. Now, you know, the body for Anti-Eternia He-Man is, of course, all black and red. Well, keeping with that premise, did the same thing. There was a lot of detail, especially on Man-at-Arms chest armor. So with the chest armor, like I said, a lot of different things. So not only did chest armor, but also picked up some extra leg armor and armor, the armor. Like I said, on the head, I went through and I made a molding of it, recasted it so that way I'm not going through and tearing up a mustached Man-at-Arms head, which I kept the mold just due to the fact of another project that I'm working on that hopefully sometime this year I get to unveil here. But anyways, so here's the Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms. Like I said, I kept him in the black and red, went through and tried to do a lot of his little pieces and everything to go through and get them red. Now I did leave the tanks their original color with the silver and the hose being brown, and on the back there was the little looks like a little sleeping bag or something, knapsack, something. I left that the same. But overall went through and like I said, I recast his head. And it really kind of looked kind of messed up looking. It was one of those things where I probably should have went through and painted his mustache red, but because in all honesty, he really looks like he has like no mustache on this thing. I said, went through, and of course, you know, like I said, got him, painted everything just straight up black to start with, and then turned around and slowly started filling in what needed to be, what I felt needed to be red on him. Make sure, of course, you know, keep Mattel's little tag on there just for the fun of it. But overall, I think he came out really nice looking. Now, one might say, well, you know, yeah, we all heard the story of, you know, that Anti-Eternia He-Man. What was up with the Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms? Actually, turns out he came through with the Anti-Eternia He-Man. Why this figure never took off, you know, why Mattel didn't do an Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms, beyond me. If you go by the fodder, you know, he was, you know, he came through the interdimensional gate, this Skeletor built with the whole world converter. Helped his master, and his master was the Anti-Eternia He-Man. Had his own Black Wind Raider at that, so I'm gonna say there's another thing that could be possibly made at some point, and I'm gonna have to seriously look into doing something like that. Used his own Black Wind Raider to go through and trying to shoot down, you know, the Wind Raider that had He-Man and Man-at-Arms, the regular ones in there. Apparently didn't work, because in the end, He-Man and Man-at-Arms went through and they destroyed the world converter, and both Anti-Eternia He-Man and Anti-Eternia Man-at-Arms disappeared. Now, memory is serving me correctly, Faker, I think, ended up on Anti-Eternia, or in Anti-Eternia. So, you know, there seems to be a way you can come back. Okay, actually thinking about it, it's like, Faker actually ended up going to Anti-Eternia. So, I mean, if it's possible for people to go there, I don't see where it's not possible for some kind of canon form to be able to come back and be possibly a really potent threat to the Masters, to Skeletor and his evil warriors, to the Horde, and to the Snake Men. I mean, you got to think about it. You got the Anti-Eternia versions. So, I mean, it's possible. It is really, really possible. So, anyways, like I said, you know, I know Man-at-Arms really ain't got that much armor on him. but I had the extra armor for him. And like I said, I honestly think he came out really good. I'm probably going to do a couple of touch-ups to him, just kind of like make the mustache red in the future. But overall, like I said, he came out really good looking. I think the only other thing I might have done different to him was his bracers and everything were still black and red, so I left those. So was his loincloth, the belt around it, but the boots were just straight up black, so I did red around the edges here, as you can see. And all in all, I think he came out really well. Probably one of my best customs I think I had done up until that point. He's one of the first early on customs I did. So, I mean, that was really cool right there. And it did seem like a lot of people did like it. Like I said, it really didn't take a whole lot, just, I don't know if I'd say stretching a little bit into the imagination, a little bit of that, and a little bit of, the World Comp book, with all the characters and all that. They really, without going into trying to track down the comics that it was actually related to, which I didn't do. I just went off of what I thought Anti-Eternian Man-at-Arms would look like. And to be honest, I thought he came out looking really good. Now, I've seen other customizers go through and do him, do versions of him, and that's really cool. But, anyways, that's my take, my copy, or my version of the Anti-Eternian Man-at-Arms. Like I said, it's something that, anybody that wants one, and dabbles a little bit in customizing, I'll tell you right now, best thing to do is go through and make you a molding of a Man-at-Arms head, and then go through and let's do it up like that. So you're not ruining the Man-at-Arms head, without a doubt. There's all kinds of different figures you can get a hold of for customizing, and trust me, this is not the only one you're going to see me do, or see that I have done, because trust me, I've got several more that can be done. And some of my friends, they've got ones that I've done for them, and hopefully at some point, I can bring them on to have them, it'll be a live video without a doubt for that one, to show the customs that I did for them. And I got plenty of other Anti-Eternian figures that I've made that are not part of any canon, but there's a world to go on that one, on top of, like I said, other figures that's been done. We're going to explore that. I'm going to explore talking to other customizers, and some of the stuff that they do. Hopefully this will go through and give plenty of people out there plenty of reason to go through and collect, and even if they get extras to go through and collect. You see here, I've got the figures. Also over here, I know no one can see it and I can't really turn my computer to do it, I've got containers full of different parts. Hands, feet, legs, arms, bucks, heads, armor, weapons. So one knows what could be possibly done out of it. And something like this, it also gives you an idea or an option to, at one point, go through and try to do something that is going to seem like it's damn near impossible. Alright, with that said, I am E-Daddy, your usually angry toy guy. This is E-Daddy's Custom Creations. Hopefully next time we'll do one live. We'll have a guest. If not, I've got plenty others to show off. That's not that hard to be doing. Who knows, maybe there'll be one where we'll go through and we'll put one together. Alright, I'm E-Daddy. That's the Custom Creations. Till next time. Be imaginative. Be creative. Have fun. Till next time. See ya.